People sometimes ask me, don't you get tired of following the news all the time? It's almost always negative. It's infuriating. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. But the answer is mostly no. I'm an information junkie, and political controversy is the thriller to my MJ.
Can we get out of here? No, I'm enjoying this.
Sheriff, he's over here.
But I have my limitations. There are times when I do want to shut my mind off and escape the world of politics and relax with some entertainment. And more than anything else, TV, movies, music, whatever, my go-to for entertainment is video games. Nerd! There are several apolitical sanctuaries of entertainment. That one is mine, or at least it used to be. But the slow drip of political indoctrination into all entertainment forms is getting tougher to ignore. And my beloved video games are no exception. I believe strongly in separating the art from the artist, and I think it's important to do so. A person with opinions I don't like can still make works of beauty otherwise, and we should judge that artwork on its own merit. But what happens when the artist doesn't agree to that arrangement? When the artist says, no, you will have my opinions imposed upon you, even when those opinions serve no purpose in the artwork itself? Well, the short answer is you get crappy artwork. The long answer is what I've observed so far in my time with the recent release of Mass Effect Andromeda. I play a lot less video games now than I used to for a variety of reasons, but a primary reason is my opinion that they are of poorer quality now than they used to be. And I don't mean that from a technical perspective. They do look better and sound better year by year. I mean that from a creative perspective. I mean that from a storytelling perspective. I don't want my games to be a simple shiny set of keys dangled in my face. I want my games to be a 21st century interactive equivalent of a book you can't put down. I want the story to grab my attention and hold it until I look back at the clock and realize several hours have disappeared. And that's why I was so excited for the release of Mass Effect Andromeda, the fourth entry in the series of games that chronicle humanity's futuristic struggle in an expanding universe to explore. It's mostly fighting aliens, but it's fighting aliens in the context of a thoughtfully crafted story with compelling characters you genuinely care about and infinite ways to navigate the game through choices you make in problem solving and interpersonal relationship development. Very few games have captured my attention like the Mass Effect series has, as well as other games from the developer BioWare, so I couldn't have been more excited to lose some time in this new release. And yeah, some of the BioWare developers were recently controversial for taking public social justice stances.
That's deplorable and should not be allowed anywhere. Like, they should be banned off the servers immediately.
But hey, separate the art from the artist, right? It didn't take much of my playtime with Andromeda for me to see that separation wasn't the artist's intent, however, and that no such separation is going to be offered. The first moment in the game that raised my eyebrow is a conversational encounter you have with one of the members of your crew, an alien who is new to the team and is feeling uneasy about being in the presence of unfamiliar beings.
We haven't had a chance to talk alone. You comfortable in here?
I took it. It feels strange to stay with the others. You're aliens.
And I laughed out loud at one of the response options you have for him. No bigots allowed.
No one on my ship thinks that way. We're a team.
Oh, I was talking about my discomfort with your living arrangements, not about any prejudice I harbor.
So to be clear, what we're seeing is an alien saying he's uncomfortable in the presence of other species, and then your character lectures him for his bigotry. And there's no plot purpose to this dialogue. It's not part of any ongoing struggle or any developing conflict this alien has with other species. It's simply just a cutaway for virtue signaling. Virtue signaling. Virtual virtue signaling? Maybe you think I'm overreacting. Oh, that's just one dialogue point in a gigantic game. Sure, it's poorly written, but you're cherry picking. Turns out there are even cringier moments as you go. Take this example. When your character visits one of the early planets in the game, you encounter a side character with basically no purpose to the broader plot. You introduce yourself, and one of the first points this character makes is, "Hey, I'm trans, you know."
That's me. I'm Ryder.
Haley Abrams, Director of Scientific Research on EOS, and writer of papers that start what the hell weather. But new galaxy, new world, and a really new start. Gotta keep up. How can I help you?
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
Back home, I was filling test tubes in some dead-end lab. People knew me as Stefan, but that was never who I was. I knew what I could do, and I knew who I wanted to do it as. Hanley Abrams, Andromeda Explorer. That's me. Feels good. Feels right.
Congratulations. Talk about a whole new life.
So you're in a newly settled space colony, and you meet a scientific researcher developing that space colony. And rather than deliver any pertinent scientific information about the space colony, she just blurts out, "Look how trans I am!" There's no purpose to this. There's no ongoing space struggle with finding gender identity. This is just the writers saying, "Hey, here's a picture of a tranny and you better be okay with it." And if that dialogue wasn't bad enough, check out this scene where you can pursue a lesbian relationship if you're a female character.
I think you're cute and I like seeing you up here. Oh my goodness, writer. Also, the accent. The accent is, I mean, it's not the only thing, but, okay, I should just go over there to the piloting thing.
Kill me now.
It's so weird. It's like they were self-aware of how bad this scene is, but they just went with it anyway. But don't worry, you can diffuse the awkwardness by telling her how much you like a diverse team. Yeah, that really gets her hot, I guess. Now, to be fair, previous Mass Effect installments had gay relationships too. One of the many beauties of the old games was all the choices they offered players in how to play the game and navigate the story and develop characters. I'm not saying you can't write a good story about prejudice. I'm not saying you can't write a good story about transgenderism. I'm not saying you can't write a good story about being gay. I am saying a story is not enhanced by taking periodic breaks to say, "Hey, look, a bigot. Hey, look, a tranny. Hey, look, a lesbian." That's checking boxes for the sake of checking boxes. That's not writing a good story. And for this reason and others, reviewers have been more harsh on this game than any other in the series. The first game in the franchise not to receive near universal acclaim. But what do they know? And what do I know? Probably just a bunch of cishet white males protecting their fragility, right? Everyone else, I'm sure, will appreciate all the representation this game has to offer. And that is where the irony enters. In search of some information about plot points in this game, I stumbled across this outrage, as explained by this Mike article. Mass Effect Andromeda romance. Gay players feel neglected. This chart proves it's true. That's right, this article says, "Not gay enough, Mass Effect," right above a picture of a softcore gay porn scene from the game itself. They're mad that this chart makes the romantic inequities of Mass Effect Andromeda very clear. Indeed, in the history of the franchise, there have been 14 male-to-female romance options, 9 female-to-male romance options, 9 female-to-female options, and just a paltry 4 male-to-male options. Surely that has your blood boiling, but just wait. It gets much, much worse. Those male-to-male options are humans yet again. So to recap, social justice warriors are mad that a fictional space world is not a 50-50 even split between straight and gay people, and I can't stress this enough, there aren't enough gay aliens who are DTF. The important question here is, who is satisfied when you try to appease the whims of these people? Nobody. That's who. Nobody. Longtime fans of the Mass Effect series like me aren't happy with this awful forced dialogue, and the social justice warriors who wanted this aren't happy with the game either, and why should we be surprised by that? When have they ever thought anything was good enough? Ever. And we are observing a similar trend across other entertainment forms. Just this week, Marvel noted that making its comic characters diverse simply for the sake of diversity has corresponded with a sales decline. We all remember last summer when the Ghostbusters remake was the flop of the year, losing $70 million. Or maybe we don't remember. I suppose that's why it lost so much money. The point is, the people making noise to create these diversity quotas in entertainment aren't there to make the entertainment better. They don't care about the entertainment, and they probably won't consume it no matter what you do. They are there to virtue signal. They are there to bully you into adopting their worldview, and once you do, they won't support you. They'll just move on to the next target to bully. Demographics don't change the quality of a story any more than the paint changes the quality of a car. You can paint the car as shiny as you like. If it's broken down and it doesn't run, We have no use for it. If you write a story just to tack on diversity points with no purpose, you're decorating a hollow shell. Write good stories. I don't care who the stories are about. Race, gender, orientation. I don't care about any of those things. Just write me a good story and I will listen to it. I don't need this many gays or that many black guys. I need compelling characters. I need plot depth. I need overall intrigue. I need you to look at what Mike.com suggests, and then I need you to do the exact opposite. And that is just practical advice for anybody. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.